Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to basically extract the key insights from our sources, get you up to speed fast.
That's the idea.
And today we are unpacking a martial art that, well, it's captivated millions. Karate.
Mm-hmm.
You probably know it from action films, maybe. But there's just such a fascinating history and real depth here, way beyond the screen stuff.
Oh, absolutely. It's really captivating, isn't it? How a discipline that started, out of pure necessity for self-defense
Right.
evolved into this massive global sport and even a cultural phenomenon. It influences everything from fitness to, well, personal philosophy.
Yeah.
So we'll try and connect those dots today from the ancient roots to the modern impact, give you a sense of what the way of the empty hand really means.
Exactly. Our mission, as always, is that shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. We'll hit the surprising facts, maybe a little humor, keep you hooked. Let's jump right in. Okay, so to really understand karate, we need to go back,
Yeah.
much further back than most people probably realize.
Hmm.
You might be surprised, actually, that it didn't start on mainland Japan at all.
Right, that's a common misconception.
It was born on this small island, Okinawa, way back in the 1300s. Some sources even trace its full history back to the 15th century. Pretty ancient, kind of isolated beginnings.
And that's crucial, isn't it, that origin story? When you look at the bigger picture, this unique empty hand fighting system, it developed purely out of necessity.
Necessity how?
Well, imagine this. Weapons were banned by the local authorities there in Okinawa.
Oh.
So the people, the inhabitants, they had to get creative, develop these ingenious techniques using just their hands, their bodies, for self-defense.
Wow.
And they drew heavily from Chinese martial arts. They actually called it Toda initially.
Toady.
Yeah, an old term basically means Chinese hand techniques.
Right.
So it was real innovation born from this restrictive survival kind of environment.
That's fascinating. Necessity being the mother of invention right there.
Yeah.
So how did something from this specific Okinawan situation become, well, global?
Yeah, that's the next big step. That transformation really picked up steam in the early 20th century.
Okay.
It wasn't really until the 1900s that karate moved from Okinawa to mainland Japan. And then it started its journey worldwide.
And was there someone specific behind that push?
Oh, definitely. A huge part of that was down to one visionary master, Gichin Funakoshi.
Funakoshi, I've heard that name.
You probably have. He's often called the father of modern karate, and for good reason. He modernized the practice, codified the forms.
Right, systematized it.
Exactly, and crucially, introduced it into Japanese schools. That really helped popularize it, along with the term karate-do,
Which means...
the way of the empty hand. That name really stuck.
So thinking about its core identity then,
Mm-hmm.
how does that Okinawan history and Funakoshi's influence define what karate is, fundamentally? Especially compared to, say, other Japanese martial arts,
That's a really important distinction to make, unlike judo, for instance.
which is more about throws, grappling.
Exactly. Judo is primarily grappling and throwing. Karate, on the other hand, is fundamentally a striking art.
Okay.
When you think karate, you should think precise punches, powerful kicks, even knee and elbow strikes.
Right.
Now, some forms, some styles might subtly include a small amount of throws or joint locks, maybe a bit of grappling. The source mentioned this.
Mhm.
But it's truly known for, defined by, its explosive striking techniques. That's what really sets it apart, gives it its distinct feel.
And even within that striking focus, there's quite a bit of variety, isn't there? Different styles emerged over time.
Oh, absolutely. You get this fascinating diversity. The sources point out some major ones like Shotoken.
Known for those deep stances,
That's
right?
right.
Linear moves.
Precisely. Then you've got Gojuryu, which blends hard and soft techniques, more circular movements. Kyoku Shinkai.
That's the full contact one. Very intense.
Very intense, yeah. Focused on power, serious conditioning. And Wado-ryu, which is interesting because it emphasizes more fluid evasion, body shifting, actually blends karate with some jiu-jitsu principles.
So they're all like different branches from that original Okinawan tree.
You could say that, each with its own emphasis, its own dedicated followers, or karateka.
It's clear karate has this really rich past. But who are the people, the karateka, doing it today? You might be surprised by just how many there are, and maybe some famous faces too.
It's genuinely intergenerational. You see millions practicing karate all over the world, young kids, seniors, everyone in between.
Millions, really?
Yeah, the scale is huge. Just in the U.S., Statista found over 3.9 million Americans actively doing martial arts each year.
Wow.
And get this, 73% are doing it mainly for physical fitness.
Okay, so health is a big driver.
Huge. And for 12-year-olds, it's apparently the third most likely physical activity they'll do.
That's specific.
Isn't it? And another interesting demographic tidbit. The average age for a martial arts instructor in the States is over 40.
Older than you might guess.
Yeah, and only about 20% are women instructors. So that gives you a bit of a picture of the community leadership, at least in the U.S.
That is a massive community. Just wild to think about. And you mentioned famous names. Any surprises there for that aha moment?
How about James Kinane, Sean Connery?
Bond. Seriously.
Seriously. Forrest Whitaker, Bear Grylls, even Elvis Presley, all achieved karate black belts.
Elvis, no way. Okay, that underscores the broad appeal. Really crosses all walks of life.
It really does. And behind all these practitioners, you need organization, right? Especially for the sporting side.
Sure.
And that's where the World Karate Federation, the WKF, comes in. It's the world's biggest organization for sport karate.
Okay. When did that start?
Founded in 1990, their main goal was, and is, to unify competition rules globally, make it consistent everywhere.
And they're the main body.
They are the only karate governing body recognized by the International Olympic Committee. That's key.
The IOC link.
Yep. And they have like 198 member countries across 5 continents. It's a truly global structure, ensuring standards and, fair play.
Right. And speaking of the Olympics, that was a huge deal, wasn't it? Karate making its debut in Tokyo 2021.
Massive moment. Historic debut. A real win for the sport on the world stage.
But then, it's not in Paris 2024.
Surprisingly, no, it wasn't renewed, which was, a big disappointment for fans and athletes worldwide.
Wonder why.
It just speaks to how competitive it is to get and stay on the Olympic program, I suppose. Doesn't diminish karate's global impact, though.
Not at all. Still huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's shift focus. When karateka decide to compete, they enter something called kumite.
The sparring component.
Right. And it's not just like random fighting, is it? It's highly skilled, tactical, demands a lot. Precision, speed.
Dexterity, experience, absolutely. It's combat sport at a high level.
So how do you actually win a kumite match? What's the objective?
Well, the main goal is pretty clear. Defeat your opponent by scoring points. And you score using these precise techniques. Punches, kicks, even throws can score under certain conditions.
Okay.
A match can end a few ways. If you just have more points when the time runs out, that's one way.
Standard points win.
Right. Or if you manage to get an 8-point lead over your opponent.
8 points.
Yeah, an 8-point lead immediately ends the match. You win right there.
Instant win, basically.
Pretty much. The fight can also end if your opponent just can't continue, due to injury, or if they get disqualified because they break the rules too much.
Makes sense. What if it's tied at the end?
Good question. If the points are equal, it goes to a decision. The main referee and the 3 corner judges consult, look at the overall performance, the spirit, the technique shown, and they decide the winner.
Gotcha. And the setup itself, how does that work? Are there weight classes?
Yep. Competitors are usually categorized by weight and sometimes by age, especially for younger competitors.
Okay.
And they fight on this specific mat. It's an 8-meter by 8-meter square called a tatami.
Tatami, right.
With an extra safety area around it. And they wear the traditional white suit, the gi.
The gi, yeah.
But instead of their usual rank belt, one wears red aka and the other wears blue o, just to tell them apart easily during the match.
Visual distinction. What about safety gear?
Oh, safety's crucial. Gum shields are mandatory. Body protection is required.
Like a chest guard.
Yeah, and females wear extra chest protection, also mandatory. Shin pads and foot protectors. Groin guards are allowed, but optional.
Okay, pretty well protected then. Now the scoring, you said precise techniques. What counts?
It's quite specific. First, the target areas. Only the head, face, neck, chest, abdomen, side, and back are valid targets.
So no legs or arms?
Not for scoring points directly, no. And here's a really key point, something that might surprise people. In official WKF karate, you don't really talk about points or half points like in some other sports.
Oh, how does it work then?
Techniques are awarded specific names that represent port values. There's Yuko, which is conceptually 1 point. Waza-ari is 2 points, and Ippon is 3 points.
Yuko, Waza-ari, Ippon. 1, 2, 3 points.
Conceptually, yes. It's about the quality and the type of technique, not just landing any hit.
Right, so it's nuanced. What kind of actions earn those different values? A Yuko, for example.
A Yuko is typically for a well-executed punch, either to the midsection or the upper level, the head area.
Okay, a good punch.
A A waza-ari, the two-pointer, that's usually awarded for a successful kick to the mid-level, the torso.
The double kick. Got it.
And the big one, ippon, 3 points.
Yeah.
That's for a kick to the upper level head, face, neck, or interestingly, any valid scoring technique that's performed on an opponent who has been thrown or has fallen down.
So taking them down and scoring is high value.
Very high value. But here's the thing. For any technique to score at all, it has to meet 6 strict criteria.
6 criteria. Okay, like what?
It needs good form, correct attitude, vigorous application, proper timing, accurate distance, and this crucial concept called zanshin.
Zanshin. You mentioned that. Sounds important. What exactly is zanshin? It sounds like more than just hitting someone.
It absolutely is. Zanshin is. It's the state of continued awareness and commitment after the technique lands. Yes. It's not just about the hit itself. It's showing total concentration, total awareness of your opponent's potential to counterattack, even after you've scored. Maintaining a strong posture, that mental alertness.
So follow through mentally as well as physically.
Exactly. Being present, ready for whatever comes next.
And related to this is kaim.
Kaim.
Yeah, it's like the focus, the unification of your body, mind, and your hara in that moment of impact.
Yeah.
A technique without that focus, without kaim and zanshin, it just won't score under the rules. Doesn't matter how hard it hit.
Wow, okay. That adds a whole layer of discipline beyond just the physical.
It's fundamental to karate.
So how does a match actually flow then with these criteria and the scoring system?
It has a unique rhythm. The ref starts it with Shobyu Harshimi, begin.
Right.
And when a potential scoring technique happens, if the referee sees it meet the criteria, they immediately shout yame.
Which means stop.
Yep, stop. Everything pauses instantly. The judges at the corners signal their opinions with flags. The referee considers them, awards the score if valid.
And then restarts the fight with Tuzukere Hajime. Resume fighting.
So it's stop, start, stop, start.
It is. It's this segmented nature. It allows for those strategic pauses, lets the judges clearly see and evaluate each technique.
Yeah.
It's less of a continuous brawl, more like a series of these precise, calculated exchanges.
That sounds almost like, I don't know, physical chess with those pauses. What does the science say about strategy and kumite? Is there analysis on that?
Oh, yeah. Researchers have analyzed hundreds, thousands of bouts. It reveals some fascinating stuff about strategy.
Like what?
Well, for instance, punches and kicks to the face account for a massive chunk, like 4/5 of all scored points.
Really? Mostly headshots then?
Predominantly, yeah. And this leads to what some researchers call a technical and tactical paradox for competitors.
Paradox? How so?
You have to find this perfect balance between exposing yourself to attack, being realistic in your defense, protecting yourself, obviously, but also being creative enough to score.
That sounds tricky. A tightrope walk.
It really is. How much do you open up to land a shot without giving your opponent an easy opening? That's the constant tension. And because karate competition is essentially a zero-sum game, one person's game is the other's loss domination tends to prevail.
Right.
So competitors have to be smart, make calculated risks, even use penalties strategically sometimes, especially if they've got a point lead near the end.
Use penalties, like take a small penalty to avoid giving up a big score.
Exactly. It's all part of the high-level game.
So, moving beyond the competition mat, the tatami. Karate clearly isn't just a sport or even just a martial art. It feels like this profound cultural force. It seems to have seeped into so many parts of our lives.
Oh, absolutely. The influence is really pervasive. You might not even notice it sometimes. Think about movies and TV.
Yeah, the obvious one.
Right. Pioneers like Bruce Lee, he basically brought martial arts into the Hollywood mainstream, completely changed action films.
Totally.
Then you get stars like Jackie Chan, Jet Li, blending incredible acrobatic skill with humor, with drama, made it even more popular.
And it's not just Asian cinema, right?
Not at all. Think about Western stuff like The Matrix.
Oh, yeah, the fight
A
choreography.
huge influence. Or more recently, John Wick. Heavily influenced by martial arts aesthetics and discipline. And video games. Forget about it.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Classics. But also Tekken, Yakuza. Countless games let players immerse themselves in that virtual combat. Even comic superheroes like Daredevil or Batman often use martial arts as part of their character, representing strength, resilience.
Discipline.
Discipline, exactly. Powerful role models.
And it's not just entertainment, is it? Its impact goes wider.
Much wider. Martial arts, including karate, are huge globally just for fitness. People practice for physical health, sure, but also the mental benefits discipline, self-confidence.
Right.
And you see its influence in unexpected places too. Fashion sometimes, dance choreography, even advertising uses martial arts imagery to convey power or focus.
Huh. Didn't think of advertising.
And for kids, shows like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Right.
Right. They use martial arts in a fun way, but they're also teaching valuable life lessons.
Hmm.
Respect, hard work, responsibility. And beyond all the physical stuff, the kicks and punches, there's this deep philosophical layer to karate.
The do part of karate do, the way.
Exactly. The teachings emphasize things like balance, focus, respect. These aren't just for the dojo, the training hall.
Mhm.
Practitioners often apply these philosophies to their everyday lives, helping them handle challenges, interact with others. It influences personal development.
So it shapes how you live, not just how you fight.
Ideally, yes. And it's fascinating. This cultural pull is so strong, it even drives tourism. Enthusiasts travel to Japan, Okinawa, maybe China, to train in authentic dojos. They want that deeper, immersive experience.
Wow. Seeking the source. And like any great art form, karate has its legends, right? Masters whose lives and teachings really shaped it.
Oh, definitely. Their impact is indelible. We already mentioned Gichin Funakoshi.
The father of modern karate.
Right. His legacy really emphasizes character development, discipline, alongside the physical technique. Then there's Masoyama.
Founder of Kyokushinkai.
That's him, known for just extraordinary strength, incredibly rigorous, almost brutal training methods. He pushed for realism, full contact sparring.
Intense.
Very. Then you have Chojun Miyagi, who shaped Goju-ryu. His style is known for that blend of hard and soft techniques, the focus on breathing and internal energy.
Goju hard soft makes sense.
Exactly. And Hironori Otsuka, founder of Wado-ryu, he blended traditional karate with jujitsu principles, emphasizing fluid movement, evasion, harmony. Wa means harmony.
Interesting blend.
And maybe one more, Hirokazu Kanazawa. A really prominent Shotokan master, studied directly under Funakoshi. He focused intensely on precise technique, mental focus, integrating speed and power.
So these figures, their philosophies, their approaches, they're still inspiring karateka today.
Absolutely. Their teachings, their examples, they continue to guide and inspire generations all over the world. They really shape the soul of the art.
And just quickly, for a final bit of extreme dedication, you mentioned something about a 100-man kumite. That sounds insane.
It is pretty extreme. It's this legendary challenge. Imagine doing 100 rounds of kumite, one after another.
100 fights.
Against 100 different fresh opponents, usually black belts themselves, with only maybe seconds of rest in between each round.
That's almost superhuman, just the endurance alone.
It's an incredible test of physical endurance, yes, but also mental fortitude, spirit, technique under extreme fatigue. Only a handful of people have ever completed it. Really shows the kind of limits some practitioners push themselves to.
So when you pull it all together, from those ancient Okinawan roots, literally born out of needing to survive.
Yeah.
Evolving from secret techniques into these codified, structured forms, spreading globally, becoming this intense modern competitive sport. Karate is just truly multidimensional, isn't it?
It really is.
It's a striking art, sure, but it's also clearly a mental exercise, and for many, profoundly, a way of life that goes way beyond the dojo walls.
And that actually raises an interesting question, maybe for you, the listener, to think about. How do you see that balance between the deep-rooted tradition and the demands of modern competitive sport in an art like karate? Especially considering its journey, from the quiet dojo to the massive Olympic stage, and now off the Olympic stage again for Paris.
Yeah, the tension is fascinating.
But through it all, that core idea, the integration of body, mind, and spirit that seems to remain central, whatever the context.
Absolutely. This deep dive really shows karate is so much more than just, punches and kicks. It's about discipline, deep strategy, and this incredibly rich cultural heritage that's still alive, still evolving, and still inspiring millions. What a journey.
Indeed.